Hello everyone, here is the review video for your second comprehensive assignment in managerial accounting. And in this comprehensive assignment you have a three-step process to complete. In the first step you need to use cost, volume, profit analysis to set a target level of sales based upon the proposed selling price and variable costs of production for each unit, as well as the total fixed cost the company will incur. Once you have figured out your required sales in units, you need to prepare a series of budgets to determine what's the expected cost of materials, labor, overhead, etc. to manufacture those units, and ultimately what amount of income are you going to pull from manufacturing and selling that amount of units. And then lastly, you need to compare the actual results that happened versus the period against the numbers that you put in your budget at the beginning to do a variance analysis and determine where things differed from the course, where things are off from what was planned, and how you intend to fix that. So in this practice example, we are going to review a company owned by Marcia Madenoff. She is an entrepreneur who has designed a highly effective all-purpose cleaner which uses its own secret formula. She has had great prosperity creating and marketing this cleaner by herself, but demand has got out of the feasible range for someone who is operating a business on their own. So she has decided to create her own company, Mag Cleaning, which will produce, market, and distribute this product. In order to meet production needs, she has hired a small but experienced staff of direct laborers, and she has hired a business advisor named Bernie James, who will consult and oversee the administrative functions of the business. So it's her first month of operations as this entity, but she still has inventory from when she was a sole proprietor doing this on her own. She's looking to scale up, to do bigger and better things, and she has a number in mind of how much she wants to make each month to make this business venture worthwhile. And she needs to figure out how much she's going to have to sell to get to that target level of income that she desires to have. And to do so, she's going to use cost, volume, profit analysis, which is going to be the first part of our review. Make this a little bit bigger. So, the consultant has compiled budgeted information regarding sales and production of the all-purpose cleaner for the month of January 20XX. And in this information, we need to determine how many bottles of all-purpose cleaner the company must produce and sell during January 20XX in order to meet its targeted amount of operating income. We are given the following information. Firstly, that the expected selling price of a bottle of cleaner is going to be $8. The expected direct material cost to produce one bottle is going to be $2. That the labor cost to produce a bottle is also going to be $2. And the expected variable overhead cost of producing a bottle is also going to be $2. So $2 even across our three cost components: materials, labor, and overhead. Mag Cleaning will also incur $6,000 worth of monthly fixed costs, and the target level of operating income that Ms. Madenoff wishes to have for the month of January 20XX is $14,000. So now we can use CVP analysis to figure out what the required sales volume is to achieve that target operating income of $14,000. And to do so, you start with your fixed costs. So the fixed costs, as proposed in this problem, are $6,000 for the month. Well, if we add to that the amount of operating income that this owner desires to have, which is $14,000, we get what the total required contribution margin needs to be. So Mag Cleaning is going to have $20,000 in total contribution margin. Funds left over from sales revenue after the variable costs of production are accounted for, which can contribute towards paying the company's fixed costs and ultimately end up as operating income. So we know what our margin has to be. Well, if we divide that by how much margin we make per unit, well, then we can figure out how many units we have to move. So what is the unit contribution margin? Well, unit contribution margin is just unit sales price or unit sales revenue minus the variable cost per unit. And for each bottle that we have of this all-purpose cleaner, we know that they intend to sell it for $8. But the first variable cost component, materials, is going to cost $2 per bottle. That the second cost component, direct labor, is also going to cost $2 per bottle. And then lastly, that variable overhead per bottle is expected to also be $2. So if there's $8 in revenues for each bottle, but in total, 2 plus 2 plus 2, $6 of variable cost, that means that each unit that we sell, each bottle of all-purpose cleaner, is going to have a contribution margin of $2. And if they need to make $20,000 in contribution margin in total, and they're making $2 per unit, well, we can divide that 20,000 by 2 and determine that Mad Cleaning, in order to make that target level of operating income, that $14,000 for the month, is going to have to sell 10,000 bottles of all-purpose cleaner.